breaking into part 2 here, guys. Off air, I had said to Vince that I struggled a lot more with part 2 than I did with part 1.
Mm-hmm.
Just, do you feel the same way? Do you potentially feel different?
Yeah. Only because there's a match on here for some reason that's almost 40 minutes long. And and it's
Oh,
like
we're gonna have so
smack
many.
dab right in the middle of the show, you know?
Yes.
And on paper, it should be like, man, this could be like the best wrestling ever, which they end up actually doing something like that. But like it just didn't need to be, even with the crowd, it didn't need to be this long,
That's true.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Yeah, we'll talk about it when we get
All
there.
right. Well, let's not hesitate. It's WrestleMania season, guys. Let's get right into it. Um, night 2 of WrestleMania 36. Charlotte Flair up against Rhea Ripley for the NXT Women's Championship. Charlotte Flair had won the Women's Royal Rumble and, as opposed to challenging for the Raw or SmackDown Women's Championships, decided to go for the NXT Women's Championship in what was a unprecedented decision. Hasn't happened since, I don't think. And here's the thing, guys. This match is 20 minutes and 30 seconds. I hated this match. Just, just,
What?
Really?
just
Really?
hated this match.
What?
Really?
I
Interesting.
it's for me again another match that without a crowd I think it suffered, but also I love their WrestleMania match years later.
No, the
That's
million times better, but
yes, but this match, no,
yeah.
I remember Kyle at the time disagreeing with me. This did nothing for me. Rhea Ripley at the time did nothing for me. Charlotte Flair had already exceeded
Okay.
the time where I was just like, yeah, she's a good wrestler, but I was tired of her. So yeah, like for me, this and also the way the match ended. Like Charlotte winning the match and capturing the NXT Women's Championship for the third time. Why?
I think it was second
Why?
time.
I believe it was third. I believe that's what they said on the. But I might.
Mm,
Regardless,
yeah.
regardless. Why? Why did we need Charlotte on NXT? Because you know what that led to. What that led to was one of the worst segments in NXT history, where Charlotte Flair was defending the title against Bianca Belair, and she had her in the figure eight. And Rhea Ripley came out to make the save. But before she could make the save, she needed to fucking do the stomp first.
Oh yeah,
No.
yes, yeah. She waited to do the stomp and then save her. Yeah.
Bianca's dying in the figure eight over here. And Rhea's just like, nope, gotta get this shit in.
Listen, that's not as bad as Jeff Hardy getting his shit in as Matt's getting
I feel
his
it's the
butt
same.
kicked.
I feel it's the same.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's not as bad. It's like
You got it.
it's on par. I completely disagree with what you said about this match.
That's fine. That's fine.
I felt like this match was one of the better matches on the entire fucking card. Actually, I'm looking through the card now, and it might be my favorite or second favorite match on this card, if not top 3 for sure.
Yeah.
I thought the story going into it, again, didn't make too much sense to have Charlotte win the Royal Rumble and then she picks the NXT title. It's because they booked themselves into a corner because they really wanted to do Shayna versus Becky, and then on the SmackDown side of things, well, they can't really do heel Bayley versus heel Charlotte. Me personally, the way I would have done this is just kind of have her pick Bailey and then just swap her with Lacey Evans in the women's 5-pack fatal 5-way elimination chamber 5 whatever match. I'm struggling because like WWE makes up names for matches all the time that don't make any sense. But that's what I would have done. And as much as I loved this match, it was a really good match. I would have cut it from this WrestleMania because as cool as it was to see the NXT Women's title being defended on WrestleMania, the right person didn't win. And this, again, it did lead to a really good rematch following that. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it was a good option here, but the match itself, fantastic. I love how it went into it. Shout out Rhea Ripley with the Vegeta cosplay.
Yes,
She did
yes,
her
yes.
thing. I looked at her. Also, Charlotte looked fantastic.
Uh-huh.
The her boobs were boobing. They were doing their thing that night.
Okay, Cameron.
Listen,
Oh.
she looked way better 6 years ago than she does right now, and
Hmm.
the match was fantastic. Like it was classic, like a classic Ric Flair, Charlotte Flair style match where she works on the leg and she kept attacking and attacking and attacking, and eventually that was too much. Uh, it made sense as to in terms of like the story within the match for it to end the way
Uh-huh.
it did because she kept targeting that leg so much, but Rhea was able to hold her own and actually get a couple shots in there to make you really feel like she had this match won. The win was taken out of me when I first watched this live in person because I was like, Rhea Ripley really lost the NXT Women's title to Charlotte Flair. I thought it made perfect sense, especially leading up into this. She's the one that challenged Charlotte to challenge her for WrestleMania. So
Right.
it just kind of made her look like she wasn't on Charlotte's level. However, Charlotte winning the title here did end up leading to a very good NXT title match in NXT Great American Bash. I can't remember who the fourth member was. It might have been Sasha Banks, but Io Sky, Sasha Banks, Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, what, the In Your House?
The in your house, Great American Bash in your house. Oh no,
Yes.
you're right. It could have been in your house. I don't know. Charlotte did a little stint in NXT, and it
Uh-huh.
was fine. It was fine. I'm okay with it. It was fine. It was a good match. I thought it was fantastic and perfect 20 minutes too. Didn't overstay its welcome. I thought it was great.
Yeah, no, I actually agree. This is one of the matches where I felt like I didn't need the crowd. This is
Hmm.
kind of like what Vince was saying before.
Yes.
Um, it's kind of it. I thought when it happened the first time when Charlotte won the Royal Rumble, I thought it kind of didn't make sense for her to go to NXT. But then her talking about how like she's beating everybody on the main roster and she sees
Hmm.
brand new competition on NXT
Yeah.
and people that weren't at her level that are at her level. So she wants to go check out the new talent. So I could kind of see that, right? Um, I could kind of also see like I know it's the NXT level, but a couple years back, the European title headlined the pay per view with British Bulldog and HBK, and they made that a
Yes.
big thing with Shawn Michaels being a Grand Slam winner. I
That's true.
mean, and he was already how many time champion. So like, not saying that Charlotte Flair is like HBK in any sense, um, but I'm just saying like in terms of like what they were trying to do, I thought it was kind of unique. I thought the matches was good. Usually in this type of setting, they would have you would have the young lion beat the old, but Charlotte Flair's like, bitch, I'm not old. I'm still in my prime,
Yeah, that was the
So
crazy thing about Charlotte is that she had already accomplished so much and had done everything there is to do in wrestling. She wasn't even at her prime yet. She was
uh
still like in her peak.
right, right. Um,
And yeah, yeah, just wait. Sorry, you were saying?
no, 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 no. I really like the way this match the feud and the build. I thought it was pretty good. So for me, yeah, it's solid.
Yeah. The thing that just like that just I would have not done is not have Rhea lost. And it would have been like best match of the weekend, close to it. Like in ring wise, because obviously the bull match
Yeah,
was probably the best thing that whole weekend.
yeah. Because
Yeah,
even after this, what happens with Charlotte Flair? They still have many battles in NXT, and they could have done that with Rhea winning. So,
yeah, they could have just done this match at Takeover instead.
mhm.
Yeah,
All right, guys. The
right. It's like, all right, can y'all just stop dick riding this match so hard? It sucked.
no, you guys are entitled to your opinion. I said I thought that their match at WrestleMania years later was probably for me one of the best women's wrestling matches I've ever seen.
No, agreed,
Um,
agreed.
This one, like, and I do remember feeling this way at the time too. Just like it just
Yeah.
did nothing for me. Next match, Aleister Black versus Bobby Lashley. In a
With
match
wife
that I forgot
Lana.
existed with his wife. Lana.
yes.
I want to tell you something about this match. I have almost the opposite feeling about this match, and it's weird because I like both these guys quite a bit. I love Aleister Black. I love me some Black Magic, and I also love Big Black, Bobby Lashley. You know, like I love all the Black. Anyway,
Black on black crime.
sure. This match I did not enjoy, except for the ending. I thought the ending sequence with the black mass that Bobby ran into was cool. I liked the way they shot it, but otherwise, I just think that these guys just this
Don't have the
this
chemistry.
felt like practice. You know what I mean? Like this felt like, all right, well, we're just kind of figure out what we're doing in here. And it was like 7 minutes, so it was merciless. But Jess, what did you think of this?
You know, because this is when Liv Morgan was basically saying that she was like bi at the time, right?
Yeah.
And,
Listen,
were like,
I see the way her and Roxanne be chilling. That might not have been a thing that changed.
So, and then this is the whole thing which break up Rusev and Lana, right? In that storyline,
Yeah.
right? So this is the thing that sucks. Like this had no build. Like the Bobby Lashley Lana thing, like it stopped and it never stopped. It started, but it never got going. And it's so funny too because like the year before this, I think she was in the same storyline with Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah.
Oh no, is that Mandy Rose? That's Mandy Rose.
No. They did
Is that Lana too?
So they first initially broke up Rusev and Lana, and then they had Lana just start dressing in Canadian tuxedos with Dolph Ziggler, and that was a thing.
Thought about this.
Then they brought them back together.
Yes.
And then they decided, no, we're gonna do an angle where Rusev's a cuck to Bobby Lashley and Lana.
Yes.
And then Bobby Lashley and Lana get married, and that's when Liv Morgan comes out and says, no, I'm gay for you.
Yes.
They never did anything with it, and then for whatever reason, it was Rusev and Liv Morgan, the scorn ex-lovers, versus Bobby Lashley and Lana. And the only thing that led to was Lana being annoying, Lana costing Bobby Lashley matches, and then MVP being like, you gotta dump that bitch.
But you know the insane part of this whole story, that whole storyline, and all the pieces that were involved.
Mm-hmm.
Liv Morgan is the one that rose up out of this.
Well,
yeah,
I'd say
before this, she was just somebody that's fluttering
Riot
around,
Squad.
somebody on the Riot Squad.
Yeah,
right.
She was a cog on the machine.
Right. She ended up having a couple runs by herself, pins Ronda Rousey. Right.
Yeah, that was
right.
Big.
So this whole storyline pushed her, if not anybody else.
Yeah,
so
it just
shout out.
Yeah, it really did get her going into doing some sort of story and doing some sort of character work. I will say, if we don't have the Lana Rusev Cuck storyline, we don't have the domino butterfly effect of the Hurt Business / Hurt Syndicate.
Yes.
Because it was that Cuck story that led Bobby Lashley down to the path of MVP being like, hey, dog, you got to dump her, man. This ain't it. MVP and Bobby Lashley join up. Then they join up with Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander. Now we get the Hurt Business, one of the best factions that never got fully fleshed out on WWE TV.
Right.
They were so good and so much untapped potential that they decided we're going to do this in AEW. And now we hurt people on TBS on Wednesday nights.
Come on, look at that.
Shout out to Lana for giving us We Hurt People on AEW.
Thank you for being a hoe. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for being a hoe. And you know the thing that sucks about this whole thing too is that because WWE had used her in that way, so many storylines
Hmm.
with one that we mentioned before, Enzo Amore,
Yeah.
right? One that we
Oh,
mentioned, Dolph Ziggler,
yes.
that Rusev and Lana actually just broke up in real life to come back together again. So if we
They
not
lived the
had
gimmick.
this,
They lived the.
they lived. They kayfabed and not kayfabed. You know,
They worked themselves into a shoot.
I'm telling you, they got back in that tank, man. They got back in that tank.
Oh my god. We talked way more
Vince,
about that match than we thought. Aleister Black's
maybe
entrance was really cool. I actually enjoyed the match personally. I thought they hit a lot of cool beats. For a 7-minute match, it felt like a Raw match though, so I
Yeah,
don't
I
think
was gonna say it definitely felt like that.
like it felt like a really good match on Raw. It's like, hey, we need
yeah.
7-8 minutes. Go fill that time slot, and they did a good job. And like you said, the finish was fantastic. And they let I think that was one of, if not the first instances of Lana, hey, do what I say, but it costs Bobby Lashley, because Bobby Lashley was going to go for the running power slam, and then Lana's like, no, 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 go for the spear. It's like, you right, baby. I should go for the spear. He goes for the spear, Black Mass to the face.
And he caught him too. The slow motion replay, I was like, "Ooh, he caught that foot pretty
He ate
good."
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He ate it just like Kevin Owens ate that pie that one time on 4th of July on a random SmackDown.
Listen, we all know how good Bobby Lashley is. I mean, a guy that
Yeah.
is drafted to the Hispanic delegation for being
Yeah.
from Panama.
Roberto Lashley.
Come on now. Tito Lashley. And
Yeah.
one guy who suffers a similar thing that I do, alopecia. So we all know, mixed together, you can only perform so well. So
Oh man.
All right. The next match, Otis versus Dolph Ziggler in what was booked in one of the biggest matches of this year's WrestleMania, with Mandy Rose agreeing to a date with Otis, and then Dolph Ziggler gets in between, with Sonya Deville having some sort of nefarious plan along with it.
Yeah.
This was 8 minutes of Otis and Dolph Ziggler, with no crowd. And Otis playing to what he, I guess, thought was the crowd. Like, so much playing to the crowd for no crowd.
Yeah. Maybe he thought there was a crowd full of little Jimmies.
I don't know. This match wasn't. This was not great. But man, the build to this was a lot of fun.
I didn't enjoy the storyline going into this. I hated the storyline.
Really?
I hated everything
I hate
about it.
Otis, but like this was a shining moment.
I hate it. I'm not a big Otis guy. I think he's a nice hand. He's fine. I liked him better when he was part of Alpha Academy in the tag team with Chad Gable. That's probably when he
Or
peaked.
what? Heavy machinery, right?
No, I fucking hated Heavy Machinery. I
Big mother.
That's
trucker.
Hey, no, fuck that
is
shit.
just what those guys in NXT are now.
Yeah, Hank and Tank.
Hanky Tank, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just
And man, fuck Hank. Like, I'll say fuck Hank just for Matt, because Matt can't say it anymore because he doesn't cover wrestling. But I hated the storyline. I was never a Mandy Rose guy. I didn't really get behind Mandy Rose until she went back to NXT with Toxic Attraction, and then she lost me afterwards when she got all in her feels about WWE and yada yada. Sonya Deville, I never got behind either. I was like, she's fine, but like I always felt like she's like the Five Below version of Shayna Baszler.
Oh, damn! He said Five Below on clearance.
Yeah, and then
everything's a penny at Home Depot. Everything's a penny at Home Depot.
Yes, and then, yeah, she got pennied out. And then Dolph Ziggler.
Shayna Baszler at home.
Yeah, and then Dolph Ziggler in 2020. I just did not give two flying fucks about him. I would have cared more about Dolph Ziggler in 2020 if he came back as a Spirit Squad member or as Chavo Guerrero's caddy than if he came out as himself. I just did not care. I did not care. It was like 8-9 years too late at that point. So I actually skipped this match. I saw this match. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna skip it. I'm just gonna shit on it. I'm gonna shit on everybody involved.
You can't
I'm gonna
make me watch 2 nights of WrestleMania and just go, I'm gonna skip Otis and Dolph Ziggler. I'm gonna skip one of the short. You like Vince, that's a punk move right there.
I watched Elias versus Baron Corbin. That's enough. That's enough.
This wasn't even that bad.
No,
like,
to be
like
honest,
match,
I just needed
it
to trim
wasn't
some
even that
fat
bad.
somewhere. I was running on time. I was running close on time before
This
recording.
pay-per-view, usually it takes me like 2 sittings maybe to watch one of the pay-per-views that we review. This took me 6.
6 hours?
6 sittings.
Oh,
to
6
finish
sittings.
this.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I finished this at 5:30 in the morning when I woke up. Too early.
That's a lot of grunting. You know,
Just like Undertaker in the Boneyard. Just what about you, bro? Did you like this more than I did?
You know what? I didn't mind this match only because this is like a very true old school WWF territorial type of storyline, right? Weird, uniquely looking male in love with the really hot girl. Very good looking guy doesn't understand why this girl might like this ugly dude, right? We're gonna fight because I'm better looking than you, right? Like it's such an 80s trope.
Yeah.
It's such a very old school, generic wrestling type of storyline and told in, 2020. Like I feel like it's a formula that it can never lose, right?
I
To
think
me,
that
like,
depends on the performer, but like
Yeah.
Otis is the right guy for this. That's for sure.
Yeah. And I also felt like this needed a crowd more than any other match.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
This one was probably the one of the top 3 matches that needed the most.
Just to have the whole effect of with Mandy Rose and Otis coming together. Because, if we could go back, one of the loudest pops from the Royal Rumble of this year is when Keith Lee and Brock Lesnar met, right, in the ring.
Oh.
But one of the loudest pops before that is when Mandy Rose fell and Otis was there to catch her.
Yeah.
So she wouldn't hit the floor. So to have that momentum going into WrestleMania with this storyline, I thought would have just made it all, be an all-time moment. But like because of what happened, you get what you get. So for me, I give it a solid pass. Like it's a pass for me.
This isn't even a SmackDown match. This is a main event.
This is a Thunder.
On
this
YouTube.
is a Thunder. A Thunder.
Yeah, this is a collision match. This is a collision match.
Velocity.
AEW Dark match.
Saturday Night Shotgun Saturday Night.
Guys, Edge and Randy Orton had a last man standing match that went 36 minutes and 55 seconds. I didn't hate this match. I hated the fact that they felt indulgent enough to go 40 minutes. My thing is that Edge came back at this time, and I would like great comeback at the Rumble. And honestly, even the build to this match Randy Orton attacking him, and going after Beth and all those things. Like I thought the build and everything was great, but like I don't ever remember Edge doing 40-minute matches when he was
No. He was not that Kurt Angle.
He was capable.
He was not ready, willing, and able to put on a good performance.
Like 2025.
He barely lasted in the live sex celebration.
Again. I think this match needed to be. It needed to be about this. It needed to be about the length of a Seinfeld episode, and it was the length of maybe a Breaking Bad episode, and that's the problem here. Almost 40 minutes. That's Breaking Bad. That's Stranger Things right there.
Yeah, come on.
like Better Call Saul. No,
Come on.
no. You need it. You know what? It should have been like a SpongeBob episode back in the day when it was like 10 minutes. Like it'd
When
be
you got 2
half of
episodes
it.
in 30 minutes.
Yeah. 2 episodes in 30-minute time span. That's what
Come
they
on
should have
now.
done. It had a lot of good, but there was so much fat to dig through that they lost me. Once they went into the backstage area of the performance center, I was like, okay, cool. They got back into the crowd and they kept going back and forth. They literally lost me. I couldn't stay tuned to the match. I kept drifting away into my phone, into something else.
Mhm.
The finish was fantastic. The way to finish the match was fantastic. Great finish, solid start. I think this is the match that also needed a crowd because of Edge's return was so monumental. Because his return not only was unexpected, it came during a day that for some wrestling fans they desperately needed an escape that day
Speak on it.
because the day of the Royal Rumble was also the evening of when Kobe Bryant was tragically
Yes.
lost in the helicopter accident, along with his daughter and all the other children and parents that were in the helicopter just that morning. And everyone was so like just shell shocked.
Down.
Yeah, just like it was a horrible day. And then wrestling, that's what we love wrestling for. They take you out of like those moments and let you escape for a couple minutes to an hours at a time. And Edge's return was fantastic. Edge's return run needed a crowd, and that's why it's so disappointing that he went out the way he did, because you see the reactions he gets as Adam Edge Copeland over on AEW. Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe it's just like I was out of wrestling for so long. I need to make up for it and need to prove that I was a good wrestler, because he does that in AEW now too. He has like 35 plus minute matches now for no fucking reason. So maybe it's just an Edge thing.
All right. Well, right now it looks like he's gonna be. It's a cope thing.
He's coping.
He's coping.
He's coping for the lost time.
Well, I mean, okay, so you're saying, okay, so I know what you mean because I've watched AEW too. So like a lot of it is just lying down though.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of it is just lying down. And I like
Him
it.
laying out his bag, the
Kids that
partner
excel.
doing all the work while they're
Yeah.
riding him and whatnot.
Yeah, and like I understand like
Vince, what's going on with you this last 2 episodes?
and the thing is like Randy Orton is never good outside of the ring. Like he's more of an in-ring type of wrestler. I mean, like, yeah, he could do and make do with cool moves outside of the ring, but like to have a full-on outside of the ring match is just not Randy Orton's bread and butter, you know?
I don't know. I think he could do it with the right dance partner.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I mean because like it's kind of odd, right? Because the only time I've seen him not out of the ring that he had a good match was the Sister Abigail, like the house, the
Oh, people hated it, but I love that.
I love that
fucking,
too. I love that
like,
too.
House of Horrors match. I think it
Also,
was called.
yeah,
I
that
mean,
was good.
I just think I just think back to him versus Mick Foley at Backlash, and I'm like, he can do outside the ring stuff
For Edge. Are you talking about Edge?
for Randy.
Oh, for Randy.
Yeah, because Edge also had a match with Mick Foley.
Yeah.
But I think Randy can definitely do like last man standing, no DQ style matches, and I think his WrestleMania match against Cody definitely needs that for it to like hit that peak, or else it's gonna fall flat, just like this last man standing match at WrestleMania 36 against Edge.
As long as they don't fight on top of a truck, like I think we'll be okay.
No, they can fight on top of the truck. They just need to get there quicker.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
They're both
that's
that
was
at this point.
yeah.
And I think the camera angles too kind of hurt this match. Also, like it was kind of they were trying to be,
Yeah.
I don't know if Kevin Dunn was trying to be Christopher Nolan with some of these POVs, but like it just didn't work.
Yeah.
Like, did we need to see the bottom angle from the ground looking up at the truck? Like we didn't need to see that.
We didn't need that
But
point of view.
yeah, did we need to see the hands like grasping, like
I will say the way they shot the climax of the match where sorry, I didn't mean to say that one
Hey,
actually. That
right.
one wasn't intentional actually.
It's okay. We're here. We're here. I mean, you are a
With-
Smack and a Raw alum, so it's okay.
Pornhub Poppy. over
Pornhub
here.
Poppy, come on,
Yeah.
salt and swallow.
Salt and the spirit. Yeah, exactly. But the concerto at the end, Edge just like really was like, I didn't want to do this, but I'm gonna do it. And you just see
Like,
the
he hit your
inner
wife.
turmoil.
Yeah, hit your
Just
wife. You
do
should
it.
hit. Yeah, come on now.
I know. But he's like, I love you so much. You've been a fucking menace to society and to my wife. You cost me in turn.
We were a tag team for 4 months.
For real, bro. They made it seem like they were like Matt and Jeff Hardy, when in reality they only teamed for like 4 months, and that was it.
If
They
you
were
were
ready or-
DX 2006 DX, and that was
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, and they've never teamed with each other ever since. And their paths, I don't think, really crossed after that. So, and they
No.
made us like, we're brothers.
Yeah.
When I had those tough times, like bad choices, there was one guy that was out there to help me pull me out of that hole. I thought it was Cody being your babysitter, driving. So the story for Randy Orton feuds is he was such a piece of shit back in the day and such a menace and such a burden that literally everyone had to babysit him and
yes.
pull him out of holes.
Yes.
So it's like, shouldn't you be more grateful, Randy? Why are you
Exactly.
Why are you going
Why are
after
you punting people? Why are you
Why are
punting
you
people?
punting people? Why are you killing
Voice,
people?
guys. It's the voices.
Yeah, one of them is Pat McAfee.
Pat McAfee.
Oh my god! All right, everyone get out what they wanted to say about Edge and Randy Orton.
Yeah, I mean, it just goes to show you why Miz was picked to be the 8-time Marine actor.
Also, shout out Ricky Starks. Just cuz. Shout out Ricky Starks. Just cuz.
Okay.
Okay.
The Street Profits against Angel Garza and Austin Theory, who were accompanied by Zelina Vega for the Raw Tag Team Championships.
Dude,
This match went
I
6
forgot.
minutes and 6 minutes 20 seconds. This was fine. Like, this
Yeah.
was a weird unit that Zelina Vega had. She just had her
Yes,
faction of
when I watched
are
this, I
me
was
and my
like,
young
"Holy
boys."
shit!" Yeah.
Like,
So the way it started was her and Andrade, obviously.
Right.
They're like, whoa, we need a tag team. Let's get a Mexican.
Right.
Does Raw do we have any Mexicans that aren't doing anything? Oh yeah, we have a Mexican over in NXT. Let's bring him up. He's a handsome heartthrob. Let's pair him up with Andrade. They're both sexy, good-looking Mexican men. They'll be tag teams. Oh, what happened? Andrade got injured. Oh, we just have the younger, sexy Mexican. Well, we need to get someone. Who else is available? There's no more Mexicans. Austin Theory, you're not doing anything, right? Okay, here. You're gonna be the surrogate sexy Mexican. And then so and then that's kind of like how the Selena Young Boys came to be. Is we need and then Andrade came back, and obviously Andrade was the leader of the sexy Mexicans. And yeah, it was it was something. The Sexicans, yes. Yeah. Sexicans. I like that. That's the official name of Austin Theory and Angel Garza, the Sexicans.
Oh fuck, that's great. We did it. We did it, guys.
We cracked the code.
Thoughts on the match, guys?
Go ahead, Just.
Okay, so this was just like a filler match, unfortunately. And it sucks too
Fluffer.
because Street Profits was kind of like they were hitting a kind of a wave at this point.
Yeah.
The whole thing with the cups have already like kind of crossed over. And they were gaining like a lot of like popularity. The one thing I want to point out of all this mess is that Bianca Belair makes her debut at WrestleMania.
Yes.
And it's
This would have been perfect
crazy.
for the crowd.
Yes, this would have been perfect for the crowd. And it's crazy because I think at this point she's transitioning to be on the main roster, but they're not sure yet. But it's amazing what just 1 year makes.
No, actually, just the very next episode of Raw is her official call up.
It's her official call up?
Yeah. So
Okay.
literally like the next night she's officially on main roster.
And then she just starts this run, this rise that like hasn't been seen since Kurt Angle.
So
Are we?
for me, I'd say that this is definitely a Raw after WrestleMania match. Especially, I was gonna say, oh yeah, it makes sense to be on WrestleMania because of Bianca, but I just don't think there's enough sauce on these tacos for me to.
There's
Yeah,
not even it's just one tortilla, man. Just not even two. It's like
I like to double tortilla my tacos. That's the
it's
best way
just
to do
one
it.
on here.
Because if you just do the one tortilla, the meat falls through, and you don't want your meat to fall through your taco, unless you're ripping the tortilla off like Angel Garza's pants. In which case, go for it. I'll say this: the match was fine. It was there. Four solid wrestlers. The pairing didn't make sense, but I like Angel Garza, so I can sit here and say that Angel Garza was at WrestleMania. So it's a win for me. It's a win for me. God damn it.
I got two things. Where's Herberto Carrillo? I thought they
So,
were a thing before, right?
No. So he was his own separate thing in 205 Live in the cruiserweight.
Oh
so he
yeah,
started up as the
there you go.
cruiserweight.
There
Remember,
you
he was
go.
a Power Ranger.
Yes.
He was dressing up like
Yeah.
Tommy, like the White Ranger.
Yeah, he had the shield and everything.
Yeah. He had the whole shield and everything.
I
They didn't
forgot
even
205 was kind of fizzling out at this time.
Yes, exactly. So they
Yeah.
didn't actually pair them up together until Santos Escobar got re-signed or brought back, and they did Legato, but without Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wild. They're like, you know what? We want two Mexicans instead of half a Mexican and Filipino. We're gonna go the whole Mexicans. We're gonna maybe they just wanted to redo the Sexicans. And I listen. Listen, you add Andrade to a faction that already has Santos Escobar, Angel Garza, and Humberto Carrillo with the very little like ring gear that they wear. They're Sexican, all right. They're Sexican.
Come on.
Fucking call those guys the moisteners. Fuck.
The moisteners?
The moisteners, yeah. They walk into a room and all the ladies are just, oh my.
Ay, papi. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sounding like a Karol G song.
Hey, come on now. No, but the one thing is, Austin Theory never comes back from this. He never comes back from this. I mean, the only time that he was irrelevant was the way on NXT.
Well, he stole Tyler Breeze's selfie gimmick and was the prodigy of Vince
The
McMahon.
prodigy.
Yeah. I mean, right now he's a tag team champion. He's a tag team champion, so he's in the up and up.
He's floundering. You know.
Yeah. I mean, he created a saying for Getcho, little Austin Theory.
Dawson Theory.
Yeah, so something.
He's gonna find his way. I don't know when, but it's. I'm not saying it's gonna be good. I'm not saying it. Yeah, but
I think where he's at right now is that's the make or break for him.
Tag team championships?
No, I like just the character and the group that he's in. I feel like if it doesn't elevate him to a point where he's a world title contender, nothing's going to.
He has one more chance because I feel like he didn't get a fair shake with this because he was added after Seth Rollins was injured and kicked out of the group, and then Braun Strowman got injured, and then not Braun Strowman, sorry, Braun Breaker,
Bronson Reed. Oh, Brock. Yeah.
and then Bronson Reed. So now he's just in the tag team with Logan Paul. So that doesn't really help him. So I will give him one more. I think I will give him that he has one more opportunity, but it's not this. Like I think he is a faction guy. He's gonna have to be in a faction to realize
To
that
stand out.
potential. Yeah, to stand out, he's gonna have to be like someone that I feel like it was in a similar spot that he was is a JD McDonough. JD McDonough was just like a really good wrestler. He was a cruiserweight guy, and then he was just like there. And then he joined Judgment Day, and now everybody recognizes, now this is a fucking good wrestler. We just know that there's a ceiling for him. And with Austin Theory, he doesn't have that same ceiling because he just has a much better look than the JD McDonough. And I'm not talking about head sizes, I'm talking about heights.
Yeah, right.
Well, I mean, both really. Like,
It's fair.
Okay, so I'm with you. So you're saying Austin Theory needs to be in a faction to stand out, right?
What I'm saying is Austin Theory needs to join up with his boy Dominic Mysterio and create a new Judgment Day with yeah. The problem with the Vision is that a lot of their members should be in the Judgment Day because they have a great relationship with Dominic Mysterio. So I think Bronson Reed, I think what they should do is they should do what they did with the Corporation and the Ministry of Darkness.
Combine
And just
them?
make the corporate ministry version of like Judgment Day and Vision just be like the
Vision of Judgment Day?
a vision of judgments or the visual judgments. Visual judgments.
Visual judging.
Visualize your Judgment Day.
Come on.
Visual something like that. V
I
Day.
like that.
V Day.
I like
Just
that.
just V Day. Anyways,
I was gonna say you're talking about somebody who
who
needs to be in a faction to stand out. I was gonna say, and this is not a hot take, but Adam Cole.
I miss Undisputed Era.
I mean,
Why'd you
Adam
gotta bring
Cole,
up
Undisputed
Adam Cole, man?
Era,
Now I'm
Bullet
sad.
Club,
Now I'm
Future
sad.
Shock, right? Future Shock.
Undisputed Kingdom.
The Kingdom. There you go. The Kingdom.
Yeah.
I mean, I
guess
love Adam
so,
Cole.
yeah.
I love Adam Cole. I mean, he's 10 times better than Austin Theory. But I'm just saying, like, he made the faction
Also
work for
true,
him,
yeah.
not the other way around. So
Well, he was the guy in the passion. That's the
exactly.
thing. Yeah, that's the
He
problem.
is the man. Just come back to WWE. He was much better.
Yeah.
Much
He was
better
basically the Kelso of the way. If you really think about it. That's when he peaked, being Kelso.
So we're talking about Bailey defending her title, the Final Fame.
Yes. Yes. Fatal 5-way elimination match. Bailey, Sasha Banks, Lacey Evans, Naomi, and Tamina. This was I thought this was really, really good. This was probably for me the best match on the best bell to bell match of the night for me.
Yeah, it's up there.
It's on.
If not
it's definitely on the list.
Probably.
I did not have any problem with the time that this match went.
Perfect.
I thought everyone looked. I don't like Lacey Evans, but like or Tamina really. But
Damn.
Naomi, Sasha Banks, and Bailey are three favorites for sure. So like,
Oh, come on.
Mhm.
but no, everyone got their shit in. Everyone looked good, and I thought that Bailey ended up looking strong. Ended up defending the title. Vince.
Me personally, the fantasy booking that I would have done is taking out Lacey Evans and have Charlotte Flair be in this match, and fill that Lacey Evans role. And I think it has a lot more weight to it. You have a little bit more history and story going into it because I loved how everybody teamed up against Tamina to start things off. Obviously, you have the tandem Sasha Banks and Bailey going into this match. Will Sasha Banks actually help out Bailey? Will she go and be selfish and win the title? Will Bailey screw over her partner? Obviously, the first person to get eliminated was Tamina, but prior to that, we did get the little Team Bad reunion with the whole
Yeah.
Unity thing. So that was really cool to see Naomi, Tamina, and Sasha. I didn't actually look to see who was on the Fatal 5-Way match card. I just knew that it was Sasha and Bailey in there. So I was pleasantly surprised when I saw Tamina and Naomi were also included. So I was like, oh, Team Bad. Fucking fantastic. Love that reunion. They were the best team of that whole
That trio.
thruple of teams at the same time. Then you have Naomi and Sasha Banks. Like they did some good stuff there. Lacey Evans again did a good showing. I'm not a big fan of Lacey Evans personally. You could have swapped Charlotte in here. This match could have been even better. And then it would have made that finish a little bit more better because it would have been Charlotte versus Bailey. But then again, Charlotte I think was a heel at this time. So, but it's always weird with Charlotte because is she ever really truly a heel or a babyface? I feel like she's just Charlotte, and depending on who she's paired up with, you just cheer or boo her. But it was a really good match, fantastic match. I loved it. Great story beats. Bailey killed me when I think it was Naomi and Lacey Evans both pinned her and Sasha at the same time. They both kicked out. They rolled out. Michael Cole's like, Sasha Banks and Bailey were almost about to lose. They were about to get pinned for and get eliminated there. And then Bailey overhears it. It's just like, no, we weren't.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
like, no, we weren't. Like Bailey just coming in there and just like her feud with Michael Cole. Like,
Yes.
that's a dream match.
This one starts.
That's a dream match for me. Michael Cole versus Bailey at WrestleMania. I need to see that happen. Yeah, no, great match. I can't say enough great things about this match. I enjoyed it from bell to bell.
Facts. Yeah, I mean, I agree with whatever you guys are saying. It's funny because this group put more effort than the than the IC title match ever did. I mean, they look like they were all gung ho. I don't know, Lacey Evans is not the best worker out of all these.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I also know that to me and knees were hurting here.
Oh yeah.
But at the same time, like, she deserves a spot at WrestleMania, right? But like, I do feel like maybe Natalya should have been swapped out for Lacey Evans instead, because she was around at this time also.
Oh no, fuck that! I don't want Natalya anywhere near my team.
Yeah, but just to get a better in-ring person, like.
No, it's fun.
Natalya wrestled on the pre-show. She wrestled
Yes,
Liv Morgan on
Liv
the pre-show.
Morgan, yes.
Why did they have a pre-show? You do a pre-show when you have an audience. What do you do?
You did a pre-show and you didn't air it.
Listen, they did a pre-show. They took their temperatures, and it passed. That's all they were trying to do, to make sure there was no infection out there. And oh, okay, we're safe to send out the rest of the people.
Oh my god! So they were just lambs for slaughter, essentially.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, if you guys don't die, then we're good to start the show. Crazy work.
Nah, just kidding. No, but I love this match. Everybody involved was great. It's funny too because like what Sasha and Bailey do after this WrestleMania is just like an all-time high. They become the golden role models. And Sasha Banks becomes on this run, we all know where it goes after this, right? But like, yeah, Bailey, right? This is like, I think maybe a year into her, like, Bailey being heel Bailey, right? So
yeah, because I
the
think
ding dong hellos is all in full effect.
Yeah, I think commentary was saying it's just like over like 300 days as champion collectively.
Yeah.
And so like I'd say maybe a little under a year that she was this heel character. The big thing for me here is that when I saw the entrance, the presentation, the gear, the moveset, everything, I sat here and I was like, God, I really miss Sasha Banks. Like,
not Mercedes?
Like, here's the thing.
See,
the way,
I know what you mean. It's not the same. It's not the same.
Not
right?
the same.
It's not the same.
Yeah, John Moxley is not the same thing as what we had as Dean Ambrose,
right?
And that's a good thing. But Cole, Adam Copeland or Cope or whatever is not the same thing as
It's
Edge. They're the same people playing the same characters, but it's not the same thing. And honestly, that's kind of what I feel here with Sasha Banks and Mercedes Moné.
Facts.
I feel like I don't know, it just doesn't hit the same. It's not the
I'm not
same.
gonna lie. I think I know what you're saying, homie.
Yeah.
The best version of this wrestler is Sasha Banks.
I think so. And she may not like to hear that because I know she wants to build
Because
her
what
brand.
comes with it.
Yeah,
You know,
because
so
what
you have to
comes with
sell
it.
out, you have to be a character, you
Yeah,
have to be glitz
exactly.
and glammy, you know what I'm saying? But deep down, she just wants to be a wrestler. But
Yeah.
that's not you. You really are like a mainstream artist. You know what I'm saying? You're a
Yeah,
mainstream character.
And my whole thing is like basically right now as Mercedes Moné, she's just still doing a little bit of the hints of the boss character, but
Yeah,
now she's the
she's Scott
CEO.
Hall. She's doing Scott Hall. She's Scott Hall.
Yeah.
Being Razor Ramon, you know.
Yeah, and then exactly. And then she's just like really good in-ring wrestler, but like she was more of a character. I thought she was I don't know, there's just something different as Sasha Banks that versus Mercedes Moné. And I just I don't know.
I think for me,
just
what it is that Sasha Banks was the complete version of what she wanted to be, but who does she want it to be, like to be known amongst like the wrestlers is what she's trying to do in Mercedes Moné. Like we already know you're a good wrestler. You don't have to like force us to like you to wrestle. Like we already like you, you know.
Yeah.
So right now, like I think the Mercedes Moné character is like trying too hard.
Yeah.
Instead of just being her. Instead of just being her.
Yeah. Like if yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, since she moved to AEW, she lost the rhythm. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
She used to have the bounce when she would dance. It's gone.
She had that Asian persuasion in her bedroom.
You know what? Props. You're right. That's what.
Maybe she just doesn't like her Mexican beast mortos.
It's not hitting right. Maybe it's not hitting right. I don't know.
As a Mexican myself, sometimes you gotta go Asian. You know, sometimes you gotta go Asian. Sometimes Asian. There's persuasion for a reason.
I'm gonna get us out of this. We're gonna talk about the Firefly Funhouse match. And it took place between John Cena and Bray Wyatt, obviously the Fiend. I remember the first time I watched this, I didn't know how to feel about it. And it wasn't until the second or third time that I sat down and watched it that I was like, oh, this is just really abstract art. That is something that like was super fascinating for them to do. Like John Cena in an interview said that he was very hands-on with this, and I'm curious I I'd love to be a fly on the wall for conversations between him and Bray about putting this thing together. But yeah, I mean, like again, I love it. I think it's one of the best things that WWE's ever done for WrestleMania as a Firefly Funhouse match, in my opinion. Vince.
Okay, so me watching this, right? We all know what a trap house is, right?
Yes.
Right? And we all know what like flights are when you go to like a bar, like there's different liquors, right? For flights. This is what a trap house flight would be like. If you took variations of different drugs at the same time. I'm talking Molly, Percocet, PCP, heroin. This is the result, right? Because you have to give it a couple watches in order for it to really dive in and really understand what's going on, right? And like I've read this on the dark web that the version of John Cena that we had going into his farewell tour is the John Cena that came out of this. So
I
the
like
original
that little fan theory. I like that.
The original John Cena, right, that we got is stuck in that fiery funhouse. And the version that we got coming out of this is the version that we know now, which is why he has no hair.
which is why he wasn't Super Cena anymore.
Exactly. And which is why usually John Cena will put his foot down and say like, that doesn't work for me, or how about if we do this? And he just allow TKO to do whatever they wanted, just like a bot.
Yeah, yeah. Um, the thing I'll say about this match is that it was a very unique thing, and I don't even know if you can call it a match. I mean, people have argued that this isn't
There's like
technically a
4
match.
bumps in this thing,
Exactly. So
Right.
is it really a match? But then again, you sit there and you look at what you at the core of what a pro wrestling match is, and it's you telling the story from bell to bell. I'd argue that I don't think there was a bell to bell because I didn't hear a bell ringing. There were a lot of things that just pop you here, for the marks out there, for the nerds that sit there and just like, oh, I get that, I get the little Easter egg, type of shit. Um, Stuff like that was cool. I think my favorite thing was at the end of the match, towards the finish, where the Fiend has John Cena and the Sister Abigail proned, and they just play back the snippet of John Cena's promo where he's saying, "At WrestleMania, I'm going to put an end to the most overhyped, or like most whatever, like WWE superstar of all time, overhyped, like least talented, yada
Right.
yada, selfish." Like everything that he was using to describe Bray Wyatt was now being highlighted as himself. And I thought that was really cool storytelling right there. Went full circle. Um, Obviously, you go through John Cena's careers with the whole ruthless aggression and him not only being able to say ruthless aggression, like he sounded like a Pokemon, only being able to say the one thing, and then him being able to talk only in rhyme. So I thought it was cool because it didn't feel like a match. It just kind of felt like something you'd see like in a Marvel or DC movie,
Right.
where like the villain is just mostly like messing with your head. Like it's something that you see like Wanda do to the Avengers in Age of Ultron.
Yes.
So it felt more like that. It felt more like Bray messing with John Cena, which is why there wasn't as many bumps, and like why John Cena was like at first in the Saturday Night's main event portion of it, where he's like lifting the dumbbells and stuff like that, and like
Mhm.
Johnny, what was it, Johnny Long Meat or something like
Yeah, let's call him that. Yep.
why he was like going through it, and then like he was like breaking through like the control of Bray Wyatt. It was cool. It was different. I would say that it's like night and day from the Boneyard match, because the Boneyard match I could actually say was a wrestling match. This felt
Yeah.
more of a segment. It felt more of a
Yeah.
segment, but it was
Yeah.
still good.
The one thing I will say is that when you're a wrestling fan, you're a wrestling fan when you're trying to describe this match to somebody who's not a wrestling fan.
Yeah,
It's fair. It's
You
fair.
know what I'm saying? And it's like, when I think back at this time, like I know that on Get Show we talked about it a couple times, and the one thing that we did say that it was better than like the WCW electric chair match. Do you remember that? With like Abdullah the Butcher, they had to pull down the switch.
Oh, we're gonna
And like
review
the
that
switch
one
actually
day.
came down like a couple times, so it didn't even like do anything. And then the one segment where who we'll just call him Double H. He went to the Dungeon of Doom section of the world, where he saw like like Kevin Sullivan and Shark Boy and fucking all these people. Like those are the closest things I can like relate this to. But to me, this told more of a better story than all of that. I thought it was cool. I thought it was unique. It's very Bray Wyatt, but when you come down to it, uh, in that documentary with them talking about Bray Wyatt, Triple H was always like letting him find his creative like itch, right? Always saying like, yeah, you can do whatever you want, but you just have to make sure it translates to wrestling. And
right.
sometimes I feel like it misses it just a little bit, right? Because like what we see later on when you do with Randy Orton and the whole like, you know, weird blackout, black in, you got the worms in the ring, like that match, like
Mhm.
you see when they do it in live action, like it kind of doesn't translate like how it does here.
Mm. Yeah, I see what you're talking about.
Yeah. So like for me, this is the only way that, for me, my opinion, how a Bray Wyatt match should be is like this. Like you get to use everything.
It's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair. This really was like his magnum opus. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
if there was one thing that everyone will always remember Bray Wyatt for, it's Firefly Funhouse in 2020. Like
Yeah.
that's
For sure. It's one of the things they'll remember him for.
And it's so sad too because like the guy had so much untapped, you know what I'm saying,
Oh my
things
God,
that we could have done, you know.
100%.
So
unfortunately, Bull Daz is trying to untap it. And he's just failing at it. He's clogging up the sink.
I have no comment.
I made an Avengers Age of Ultron reference. In that movie, Tony Stark creates an AI named Ultron, and then later has what is it? Happy?
Vision?
No.
Oh,
Jarvis is the other
uh-huh.
AI that ends up becoming Vision. Well, I used my AI to try to remember what was the name of John Cena that he was called during the Firefly Funhouse at night's main event segment. It was Johnny Large Meat that Bray Wyatt
Large
calls.
meat.
Yeah, when he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, my tag team partner, Johnny Large Meat. Look at all those muscles," and he starts like lifting up.
Uh-huh.
Johnny Large Meat. That was close.
No, I like long meat better.
I was gonna say I like long meat better too. Like fuck. All right, guys. The main event of WrestleMania 36 is Drew McIntyre and Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship. This match went 4 minutes and 35 seconds. the the
Rightfully
dark
so.
match, the dark match that happened directly after this match against the Big Show lasted longer than the actual main event did
That's
by
hilarious.
almost 3 minutes.
That's hilarious.
This was, I felt so bad for Drew because this was Drew's moment. He had such a great run up following his Rumble win. Really great all-time Rumble for me was 2020. I thought he looked great. Edge coming back was awesome. Even to the point where like I wasn't that also the one where Brock did like eliminate a fuck ton of guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It wasn't
it
where
was
Brock was the champion and he went in.
Yeah, for whatever
Right.
reason, he decided I'm gonna be the champion and shit, and I'm gonna start at number one. And it was a great Royal Rumble, but it was a Rumble of two halves. The first half was Brock dominating people, having moments with other people, MVP returning, him like
Shelton Benjamin.
reuniting with Shelton Benjamin, the pair off against Keith Lee.
Yeah, oh my
And
God.
then
That's still,
yeah. Drew coming in, being the one to eliminate Brock Lesnar, setting up this WrestleMania match. Edge's return at the end as well. Also very, very cool. Again, I do feel bad for Drew McIntyre. This is probably the match that out of all of them deserved and needed the crowd that much more. But props to Drew McIntyre. Like the one thing I remember about him in his entire career, if he were to like retire tomorrow and go into the Hall of Fame, and you ask me what's your most fondest Drew McIntyre's memory, mine would be him after winning the championship at WrestleMania 36 in the pandemic, just putting his hand out to the crowd, to the camera, like acknowledging the fans at home and saying thank you, because I thought that was very powerful. It was very impromptu. He just kind of winged that. He didn't plan that, and I thought it was a very powerful visual. Because at the end of the day, during that time, we all needed something to distract us from what was going on, and at that moment, that was the only time anyone broke the fourth wall, and it was just like, hey, thank you. Almost like saying thank you for sitting through this 2-night WrestleMania. And I was like, and I felt like I was along for the ride with him. Even though I wasn't there, I felt like I was there. So I will say that about the match itself. But everything I said about Goldberg versus Braun Strowman, copy and paste here.
I will too. Also, tag in and agree with the same sentiment that Vince said too. Also too, at this time, like, it's been a while since we had a good babyface champion, and Drew McIntyre was that guy. I do miss this version of Drew McIntyre, but I love the heel version of him so much better. But it's hard because this championship was only like 5 minutes or whatever, even though he was telling Big Show later on that it was 20 minutes. Like, it doesn't really make up for what type of champion he becomes after WrestleMania. Like, he sets out one of the best championship runs since, I don't know, CM Punk, I guess. But in terms of face. But yeah, I mean, he has that crazy match where it's all over the arena with him and Sheamus.
Yeah.
Right. He has that match later on at SummerSlam. So like, there's a bunch of Drew McIntyres that he does after this, where he gets he really shows his wealth. But for me, same thing, copy paste. 4 minutes. Brock Lesnar really he's just here for a paycheck.
Yeah.
I mean, that's his life. Yeah.
People getting excited. Listen, I get the hype for it, and I get caught up in the hype sometimes too. Oba Femi versus Brock Lesnar. This is what you're gonna get.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a little bit better because it's gonna be in the crowd. They're gonna help elevate that match.
Maybe 8 minutes.
I'd be surprised if it goes past 5. But that's what we're gonna get. Oba Femi, Brock Lesnar. That's exactly what this is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Big Show though.
Big Show. So Big Show showed up afterwards and challenged Drew to an impromptu, WWE title match, and Drew obliged. And Big Show, like I said, he went the distance, 2 extra minutes over Brock Lesnar.
Shout out.
Shout out to our man Paul White. Paul
White.
It was
quite impressive.
Guys, it is once again time to talk about our ratings for night 2 and our Lance Storm Award recipients before we quickly preview what we've got coming for the rest of the month here at Wallop Media, and it just tells us what we're going to be watching in May. So, guys, let's get right into it. Lance Storm Award recipient for me for night 2. Oh, man, difficult question. Controversial one, but I'm going to go Dolph Ziggler. Like, Dolph Ziggler.
Oh, really? Okay.
Great worker in a storyline that, while it was you had said, like, it was a silly storyline, and it's very, like, by the numbers, WWE style booking, old school, what have you. Vince, I get the sentiment you had said about how by 2020 you had given up on Dolph Ziggler and it was far too late. But I always appreciated him in the ring. When it came to bell to bell, like, the guy could bump his ass off and he made everybody look like a star. And I don't think he gets his flowers enough, or he doesn't get enough flowers, I don't think. So that, I'm going to give him the Lance Storm for just being a bumping machine and making Otis look like $1 million.
I think he's had enough flowers, and unfortunately his flowers need to be changed out of their vase because they're trying to stink up my living room now. You didn't give the night 2 a star rating?
Oh, yeah, the rating is going to be a 2. I really enjoyed parts of Edge and Randy Orton. I really enjoyed the Firefly Funhouse match. And I really, really enjoyed Bayley versus Sasha and Lacey Evans and Naomi and Tamina. But, like, I liked the ending of Aleister Black and Bobby Lashley, and I hated Charlotte and Rhea Brock and Drew was just more disappointing than anything else. It wasn't bad. It was disappointing because I wanted so much for Drew to have that moment in front of that crowd,
Yeah.
and it just got taken away. So
I understand that. Me personally, I think I'd also just probably stick to a 3. Uh, no, I'll give it 2.5, 2.5, 2.5 stars. Just because, as much as I like the women's matches, because the women knocked it out of the park, the Funhouse match was cool. It was fun. It was interesting, but it didn't hit the same like the Boneyard match. And then outside of that, everything else was just fine, but felt like it was Raw worthy or SmackDown worthy content. You add in the Drew McIntyre not being able to be in front of a crowd to win his first world title, and then Edge and Randy Orton lasting longer than it takes me to go 3 rounds. I don't know. Yeah, 2.5 stars is probably the best. In terms of a Landstorm recipient, I'm gonna do a joint custody of the Landstorm. Since they were basically, I mean, Selena had both of them, so I'm gonna give it to Angel Garza and Austin Theory. For the same reasons. They were a tag team here, so I feel like I'm allowed to cheat here because technically I'm giving it to a team on the card. Angel Garza, we forget this dude was introduced in that NXT breakout tournament, and then he ended up becoming the NXT Cruiserweight Champion and was a phenomenal wrestler. Then he got called up to the main roster during the pandemic, and he was just a guy in the faction. And outside of that, I think he's a very charming and and charismatic guy. He just isn't given the opportunity. Granted, he's not the most well versed in the English language, but I think he's a great guy to be in the faction. I don't think him and Humberto Carrillo have gotten the opportunity to really shine. And man, also, I'm just a sucker for Angel Garza. I think that dude is just the bee's fucking knees. The way, like, like, I feel whenever Angel Garza
just
lifts off,
come already, Jesus.
whenever Angel Garza takes off his pants, it's probably how all those women back in the '90s felt like
hell
when
no.
when Val
My
Venus stripped off that bath towel off during his entrance. That must be what they felt like. But then also to Austin Theory, again, another guy that I feel like untapped potential that could be utilized properly if used in a proper situation. Obviously, I thought him in the way was probably where he peaked. He was Money in the Bank. If in the world where they had 2 world titles, he would have been the dude to cash in on the title that Roman didn't have. It might have been successfully there because if we lived in the world, in the timeline, in the multiverse where Jack Swagger was a world champion that pinned Chris Jericho, we can live in the world where Austin Theory was like a universal world champion, the secondary champion. At the very least, I think his peak is like Dolph Ziggler winning the world title. Maybe not doing anything after that, but I honestly feel like they should really pair him up with someone and really untap that potential. I don't know. Maybe you pair up Austin Theory with Angel Garza. Maybe you have them have a manager. Maybe a Selena Vega, and then maybe you start getting some Sexican things going, and and maybe you see why they deserve a Landstorm. But yeah.
All right, that was a lot.
my
Just
I'm gonna give this a 2 also. I mean, the Rhea Charlotte, that was a good match. The women's title was a good match, and the Bray Wyatt was like a really good match too. But what kind of pushes down the numbers is the Edge Randy Orton match.
Yeah.
Most of this pay-per-view was that, you know. So I just
How many
it
other
just did not
matches do you
need
have
to be
put
that
together
long.
to get to that leg?
It was the
Yeah.
longest match throughout both nights, and that includes the Boneyard match.
Right. Right.
By like 13 minutes. That's
Crazy.
again,
for.
I didn't hate all that match. I remember in 2020, I was very strongly like, no, that was a good match. That was a good match. And watching it again, I was like, no, I was there were parts of it that were good.
At least it wasn't like the greatest wrestling match of all time at WrestleMania Backlash, like a month later.
I won't even watch that. I wouldn't no. I don't want it.
But it's the greatest wrestling match of all time.
Hell no.
All right, Jess.
Lance
Gave
Storm.
it to Lance Storm.
I'm gonna go and say the same thing I said earlier. The crew deserves it. You can't. They couldn't pull this off without the crew. So
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Jess has been like very generous and charitable to the crew on this last 2 episodes.
they deserve a lot.
Yeah,
Listen,
absolutely.
Before my selections, I was gonna give the Lance Storm recipient to the fans for sitting through this pandemic WrestleMania because they deserve it, and I don't think they get appreciated for sitting through this WrestleMania in 2020.
Come on.
Oh man.
All right, guys. With all that being said, it is now time to find out what May is going to bring to us. May is supposed to bring flowers. Just, do you have
You're
flowers?
allergic to flowers.
Yeah.
Seasonal
because
allergies.
I've been searching up the Wallop rewinds, and I know it seems like you guys don't want to do any repeats. So I think it's time, because I know we've discussed this on different podcasts and in our own time. I think it's time that we take a look back at Ultimate Lucha.
What? Ultimate Lucha.
It was been a discussion between me and Vince while we were on Getcho, even before, and Rylan, it seemed like you were into it even before. Now we're all in one house. We might as well just do it.
All right. Well, we're gonna figure out how to get a hold of this footage here.
The first season, the first one.
First Ultimate Lucha.
Yeah.
Is it just like a match, or is it like an episode?
It's a full episode.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I believe it's a two-parter.
Yes, I do believe you're right on that. Is this the one with Vampiro versus?
Pentagon?
Man.
And then you got Brian Cage and Mac. Brian Cage and Mac, bro.
Oh my god,
that's right.
Brian Cage was
all right. Well,
oh my god, I forgot.
we have gone super long. I do want to quickly touch on a few things before we get out of here that I almost forgot about. That's a great selection. Lucha Underground, Ultima Lucha 1. I'm looking forward to that. I cannot wait to figure out how to get a hold of that. Anyway, quickly before we get out of here, I want to just quickly touch on the schedule for the rest of the month. We have, obviously, you just sat through the last 2 parts of WrestleMania 36 on Wallop Rewind. WrestleMania 22, we all 3 of us reviewed, and that was just his debut episode.
We popped this cherry.
Yeah, we popped it right good. And we talked about the Chicago WrestleMania. That was, if I remember, like kind of average in weird ways, and high and highs and lows and lows. Kyle and I sat down to talk about Jet's first album and First Aid Kit's third album on Wallop Records this month, and it was a really fun episode. So check that out. We are going to be doing a WrestleMania 42 preview show, perhaps with some people who were on this show. We shall see who we round up for that. And then Kyle and I are going to be sitting down to do WrestleMania 42 night 1 and night 2 live on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, what have you. And then the following week are going to be reviewing WWE 2K26. I've got a lot of thoughts, and most of them are angry. And then, of course, DK and I will be back to finish the month up for it's episode 64 of World's Funniest Podcast. Just Vince, this has been a marathon episode episode recording session between the three of us. I do appreciate this. Guys, I'm very excited for May because I haven't watched this show in probably 10 years. And
I've never seen it.
You never seen it?
Oh,
Oh my gosh,
This-
man.
talk about popping
Right.
cherries.
bro.
yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Well, with all that being said, thank you for listening all the way to the end of this podcast. We appreciate each and every one of you. And for the last time from the three of us before WrestleMania, you have been rewound.
Yeah.